I almost lost the front end this morning. Almost. RevelatorAlf. Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. I hope you're all well. So yeah, on my ride home from a 12-hour shift, feeling pretty tired, but probably a little bit more tired, a little bit more fatigued, let's say, mentally fatigued, because this morning I had a bit of a scare, and yeah, the heroic Harley almost became a crash victim. Now, I don't want to blame the tyres, and I don't want to blame the bike. I think I just need to blame myself. I just finished up filming another video this morning at the crack of dawn, and I decided to not rejoin the main road. Running alongside the road, there is this kind of very narrow access road that runs parallel. So I thought, you know what, I thought I'd just ride up there, and then it's about half a mile, something like that, ride up there and then just quickly rejoin the road a little bit further on. Great, I thought, what a cunning plan, until I almost lost it. Now, because it was dark, or especially under the trees, it was a tree lined parallel path, as it were, because it was dark under there, I misjudged this kind of damp patch. What it was just finished raining a few days before, so there's a lot of mud that had settled there, and it was kind of slippery, sticky mud, and that's what my front wheel caught, and it was a little bit deeper than I thought it was, and the front tyre just went whoop, and I went with it. Now, some of you might be thinking, Alf, what a tool, what a fool. And others might be thinking, what a great save, you didn't fall off, all is well. Well, I suppose that's true. All of it's true. What kind of surprised me a little bit is because this is obviously a big heavy bike. Harley's a big heavy bike, right? And the front tyre just suddenly went. It reminded me when I used to go trail riding on the big adventure bike when I had the road tyres in the winter months, and the front tyre just wanted to slip and slide all over the place because there's no grip on it, right? Because they're not designed for that kind of thing. But it suddenly just went, and just automatically I put my right foot on the ground and just pinged the bike back upright, because it suddenly just dropped like that, almost like 45 degrees. Put my foot down, and it just righted the bike enough just so the front tyre could grip again, and away I went. And I was going slowly, of course. I mean, it wasn't as if I was at high speed doing this, but even so. Now, there's no damage to the Harley, there's no damage to the tyres, there's no damage to myself or to my boots, but it just goes to show, in the blink of an eye, you know, a poor decision here, you know, a misjudgment, let's say, something that you can't see very well, and you think, yeah, I'll be okay, then all of a sudden you could be on your ass before you know it, and that's essentially what happened to me. So I thought I'd share this with you in, you know, in full disclosure, as it were. Yeah, the heroic Harley almost bought it this morning, and I almost ended up with egg on my face, a bruised ego, as it were. I think I've been suffering with a bruised ego all morning, because I should have known better, really. I should have known better, but there you go. So what's the moral of this story? The moral of the story is, well, it's sunset here, and it's a beautiful sunset, but I suppose I could thank the tyres for not underperforming, let's put it that way. They didn't perform very well, because I slipped, but I don't think it was their problem. I think it was the problem of me running on mud, or rolling on mud, and it just suddenly went. I think there was a bit of a slant, a bit of a slope on the path as well, and that's what made it all worse. I was kind of rolling over it rather than riding over it with power, and I think that's what did it. Anyway, I'm sure we've all got stories of this, of almost losing the bike, almost crashing, having a wobble here and there, you know, almost missing another vehicle, you know, braking right at the last minute and just nudging up to another vehicle or something like that. Yes, you know, the back end slips from under you, the front end slips under you. But this is the question, this is the point I wanted to make this video. You have a near miss, whatever. What is the worst near miss that you can have? Is it, let's say, the front tyre suddenly going, or is it the back tyre that you lose? And I think if you lose the front tyre, that's more scary than losing the back tyre. Because the back tyre, you still got a bit more stability. Yeah, it fishtails a little bit. But if you lose that front tyre, I think in the split second you can go and there's nothing you can do about it. And I think I was just lucky this morning. No skills there. I think it was an automatic reaction to put my foot down from trail riding days where they say you shouldn't put your foot down, but I beg to differ if you need to. And it just popped me back up and I just managed to recover it. As I say, I don't think there's any skill there. I think it was just an automatic a reflex reaction, or reflex action I should say. But let us know your thoughts. I thought I'd share this with you. Which is worse, a front end going or rear end going? Tyres this is. I think that's a close call. Any other close call is always bad news, of course, but it's like a sigh of relief, isn't it? You're like, whew, but for the grace of God go I, as it were. But in this case, I think the angels were looking down on me and wishing me well. But anyway, listen, the heroic Harley was very, very heroic, although I think it trembled with fear a little bit today, and I think the same goes for me too. Not ashamed to admit it, but it was squeaky bum time this morning, if you know what I mean. The old sphincter was going. But there we go. What's worse, a front end or rear end? Catch you again. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell, like and share. Check out the website RevelatorAlf.com. Right, I really need to go home and put my feet up after a long, exhausting day. Ta-da.